the computer, who can you trust?
We'll take a few more minutes if you like. Knock yourself out. Actually, do that. Knock yourself right out.
I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum.
Hello, and welcome to my demo reel critique of myself. I'm gonna go over a couple of the scenes here, and I wanted to be able to tell you a little bit about them. So the first scene that I'm gonna cover is this one. I'm gonna turn off the sound. So for this one, I wanted to tell the story with this guy, and the reason why I chose this was because this was my first uh, animation that I did in Portfolio 4. That was an exploration of what I wanted to pursue, what type of animation I wanted to make. So this kind of does represents the style that I was looking for in different companies, different positions. This the style that they're looking for, where I'm going to be applying. So I believe me following this path is really well for me because this is what the companies were looking for and the ones that I've been looking at. More cartoony, more humorous kind of animation. So this represents a little bit about my style. I like to tell a story, and this animation I feel like it does. Certain things I do have to fix. For instance, there's moving holes and whatnot that I need to fix. Shift movements and body shifts, facial expressions I gotta fix. So this is not a finished product, um, but it's getting there, and some things I gotta tweak. So some of the things that my professors were telling me that at first that I already fixed was some of the keys were still in the step when I turned it in. At that moment, I didn't realize it. I don't know what happened. I guess not everything went into auto. So ever since then, I fixed it, and now I'm noticing little things, other things that I gotta fix. And honestly, I feel like this is more like an entry level, but a little bit above entry level because it does have the movements and it has everything flowing pretty decent. It's just minor tweaks that I gotta do still. So moving on to the next asset that I want to talk to you guys about. So this is my second portfolio that I did, Portfolio 5. The reason why I chose this is because I wanted to tell a continuation of the last story. I wanted to pick the same character, same layout, same place, because I wanted to tell the story between my animation here. So that's the reason why I chose it. I wanted to tell the story and continue the story of this gentleman, this guy. I believe a lot of animation studios, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for originality. They're looking for people telling a story, and I believe this represents the styles that they're looking for into an animation. This asset I do have to fix still. I believe this is not a done asset. The reason why is because it's still missing the frame. The frame shot is still too small, and there is still missing some moving holes are not there, and some of the body movements are still kind of wonky, and I gotta fix the weight shifts a little bit. So this was kind of like an entry level, but a little bit above entry level. The reason why is because it's still telling the story. It's still showing some type of humor in there, and the animation is still moving forward. Some of the things that the professors were telling me as well were that the animation, some of the keys were still in step as well for some reason. So this is a trend that I keep doing. So it's something that I'm fixing. Ever since then, I've been tweaking a little bit, but I still don't have a full shot of the completed one. So moving on So for this asset, for this animation right here, the reason why I picked this one was because this was the first animation that I did that I wanted to explore the type of animation that I wanted to do. This is where all the little flaws were there and all that. Uh, this is where my evolution started rolling to becoming a better animator. Um, so that's why I picked this one to go into there. Uh, yes, this represents a little bit of my skill and where I was at and the evolution that I was taking, because this is where I started showing more humor into my animation. So it does represent me and my skill at the time. So again, this is the same thing. This is the how animation positions that I've been looking at. This is what they're looking for. They're looking for originality. They're looking for a sense of humor in them, and that's what the company are looking for into the demo reels and the jobs postings that I've been looking at. So this is why I picked it. At the time, the professor had told me, so I had left a frame shot on here. I had left the grid on here on the floor, and the HUD I had still had it. So ever since then, I did fix those. Those are long gone, and the frame is a little bigger. The frame shot of the animation, the shot is a little bit bigger, but I do have to make a unison across the board. So this is not a finished shot, but it's still in process and it's still rolling. I still haven't decided if I want to keep this. I might take this off because this was one of the previous one of the previous classes, and I believe one of the professors did tell me to not include it in there. So I might be taking this off and putting a new animation in there. Moving on. This is definitely a entry level, like a beginning level. So definitely, this is probably getting cut out of there. So for this one, the reason why I picked this animation to add here, this is where my animation evolved. This is definitely where my animation took a new level. This is where I show more expressions into my animations. This is where literally a next level. That's why I picked this. This is one of my best animations that I've done so far into my student career here. So this is what the animation positions that the companies that I've been looking for. This is what that represents. What they're looking for. They're looking for originality, tell a story, and they're looking for the little animations to flow smoothly. So this definitely does represents the level of animation that I'm at right now currently. So this is a good turnout. It does have some flaws still, but at the same time, I feel this is a definitely finished asset, and I believe I'm moving this to the back so that way it finishes the shot of the demo reel. This is definitely one of my biggest ones. This is definitely moving into the back, and I believe this is a finished asset. And some of the things that professors wanted me to fix before was the mouth movements. There was still missing some syllables, and it was still off. But ever since then, I did tweak it, and it looks a lot better now. Moving on. So for this piece animation right here, I wanted to continue again the story of the same character, same place, but I wanted to finalize the story here. I wanted to tell the story of what's the end for this character in this specific place and what he wanted to do. He wants to travel the world. That's what he says. So it's telling a story of continuation of what's there next, something that's coming up next. So some of the things that I believe this definitely represent what companies and places are looking for in positions, because this finalizes the full story. It tells a story from starting to the end. At the same time, this does represent the skill level that I'm at right now in my animation path. And I believe my animation path has grown So this looks a lot better. Again, this is a finished shot, and to me, this is more than an entry level. This is definitely more an entry level. This is more into the professional level. There is some things that I could fix, but I believe it's actually pretty decent and pretty good for my animation at the moment. So overall, I believe this is definitely my best, and I'm moving this to the front of the animation. Some of the things that the professor did tell me at the beginning, I had it really stiff, and throughout the whole entire month, I was fixing it, and at the end, I believe it turned out really well, and I fixed it. And overall, this was my animation demo reel. I wanted to speak to you about this. Some of the peers did tell me the music was too loud, so and it was overtaking the voices. So I am currently fixing that, and the next iteration will be a lot better. Thank you for watching, and I hope you liked it. Thank you.